So if you didn't see the crash in the last video, here's what happened. And this is what the car looks like after that. As you can see, there's a hole missing out of the wheel. On the other side, the wheel is buckled as well, so both wheels are going to need replacing. Obviously the bumper is completely wrecked, the headlight's smashed, the indicator's smashed. Fog light is okay, I think, so yeah, there's that. The windscreen washer bottle is all bent and leaking. The front sort of crash structure, crash bar thing has done its job and crashed, crumpled. The bonnet is quite bent, as you can see, in a few different places as well, so yeah, new bonnet. The driver's side door actually got smashed a couple of times, but it seems to just be sort of light scratches. I don't think it's dented it at all, so got away with that. But yeah, overall not great. It could have been a lot worse, considering I hit the barrier probably about 55, 60 mile an hour, something like that. So it could have been a lot worse. But the task for today is to just strip all the panels off and see if there's any serious damage underneath. Everything in the engine bay looks okay, aside from the washer bottle. It's kind of stopped at that front corner and the front, so I think everything like the engine and the turbo and everything like that is all absolutely fine. But the radiator took a bit of a battering, but I'd actually already ordered a Mishimoto one anyway, just before this happened anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, let's start stripping things off and see how bad it is underneath. Right, that piece right in front of you, that is fairly straight on there. Yeah, you can see the top edge is pretty straight. Now if we look on the other side where the impact happened, it's not so straight. It's kind of wrecked, that bit. So yeah, definitely going to need a new lower control arm for the front. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yay! Check this out. How like OCD is this for labelling things? Let's go headlight. Ta-da! Amazing technology. There we go. Headlight. Right, so that was the side indicator, I believe. Yeah, that's the one. Don't know what that was. I don't know. Organised. Right, go for it, I guess. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Put it to you a bit. There we go. Done.
Very lucky.
I've been quite lucky, haven't I?
Because that's the point where you don't really want any
yeah,
damage.
and it stopped literally.
And it's literally stopped there.
Yeah.
It's
skills. Skills. I was gonna say, when I crash, I know how to crash. So, things are getting serious. Want to be proper fact?
She's a little bit broken.
She's a little bit fact. Make sure the people have fact she is. This bit is all bent, like completely bent. But that's fine because we're replacing that.
Yeah, that bit's not important.
That bit's
okay.
bent the opposite way, which is kind of weird. Well, it's the same way, I guess.
Yeah, it's all shifted.
It's all gone this way. But the bit behind here, I don't know if you're able to see it at all. Probably not. That's fucked. You can see. But the leg could be fine, and it's just the bit in front of it that's fucked.
Yeah, this side I think is like that. The other side I don't think is. I think it's crushed. The left-hand side of the chassis leg.
Oh yeah.
If you see there,
that shouldn't be an angle at all.
This should be a lot straighter.
Yeah.
So I think what's happened, this bit, this is your chassis leg.
Yep.
It shouldn't be bent like that.
Angle at all.
So I think it's crushed the inside of the chassis leg.
Yeah. That doesn't sound good, I'll be honest.
No, it's not great.
No, it's not. It's not ideal. It was fine till you got here. It was all going so well, I was all happy. Ordered a load of new parts, thought it was going to be fixed in half an hour. Now look what you've done. Okay, so like you've just seen, the chassis leg is slightly twisted on both sides. One side's quite a bit worse than the other. So it turns out Bald Yoda's dad used to work at a body repair place, so he was kind enough to come around and have a quick look and give us his thoughts on it. He said he doesn't think it's too bad. He said it's not going to be a massive job to get that chassis leg straightened. You might not even need to put it on a proper jig or anything. You might just be able to heat it up and twist it back. I don't know. But yeah, he said that we've been quite lucky really and got away with it for the most part. There's no like cracks or any telltale signs that anything further back than that chassis leg has actually twisted or moved at all. So looking promising. I've already ordered a load of new parts from Toyota. So far it's cost about 1,200 quid for new bonnet, new bumper, new indicators, new frame that the body mounts to, new wing, new crash bar structure bit, new lower control arm or wishbone, whatever you want to call it, and probably some other bits that I've forgotten. Since I ordered that though, that was like the first day when I got it back and started taking things off, I ordered all those. But then since then I've stripped a bit more down and found a few other things that I need to order as well. So yeah, I'll have to place another order with them on Monday. But most of the stuff should be coming in within the next couple of days. So yeah, it should be pretty quick hopefully. But obviously there's no point trying to fit the new bits until that chassis leg is completely straight again, because everything's not going to fit on properly. So got to do that first. I need to find a place that will do a good job of that. And yeah, then take it from there. But while I'm making this video, I thought I'd just comment on a few of the questions and comments and things that we got on the YouTube video and on Car Throttle and Instagram, a few places that posted the pictures or the videos. First of all, I was quite pleasantly surprised that a lot of people seemed kind of interested in how I was. I didn't expect anybody to care about that. I thought everyone would just be like, how's the car, how's the damage, what happened, blah blah blah. But no, a lot of people actually seemed quite concerned about whether I was okay, so that was nice. Yeah, like I had a little bit of neck ache the day after, but it's pretty much gone now, so it could have been a lot worse. And the same goes for the car as well. I mean, I know there's a fair bit of damage, but it could have been a lot worse. A lot of people commented on how calm I was in the video. Like, a lot of people seem to mention that. Somebody said, I think they were trying to just have a dig, but it was a fairly good point. Somebody said, oh, he's only calm because he's got money and he can afford to fix it, which I agree and I disagree with. On the one hand, yeah, if I couldn't afford to fix it, and if I was like, I still had finance payments on it that I could barely afford, and now I'm going to be paying for a finance on a car that's scrap, yeah, I would have been a bit more upset. But you shouldn't be taking a car on a track day that you can't afford to repair, or that you're still paying for. Bad things are going to happen on the track eventually. That's just part of it, really. And I know somebody will be like, no, I've done 3,000 track days and I've never had a problem. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Most people are going to have problems at some point if you go on a track, okay? It might not even be your fault. Something might go wrong with the car, somebody else might smash into you. It could be completely out of your control, or you could make a mistake like I did and it could be your fault. But either way, the car's going to get damaged at some point if you keep doing track days. Or you could even get damaged on your first track day that you ever do. So yeah, if you can't afford to repair it, if that's your pride and joy, and you've put all your money into it, and it's going to absolutely bankrupt you to try and fix it, then yeah, don't do a track day in it. Now, a few people, I think mostly people who aren't from this country, asked if my insurance would cover it, but no way. If you're on a track, your insurance isn't going to cover it at all. You can get track day insurance. I've never bothered with it personally. I don't know exactly how much it is, but I would imagine for me, like I started the day in the R8 obviously, I'd imagine for me getting track day insurance on an R8, especially a supercharged one, would be quite a lot. I'd probably work out worse off if I got insurance, track day insurance for every track day I've done, because I've lost count of how many I've done now, quite a few. I would have probably spent well over £1,000, probably more, I don't know, on insurance. Whereas it's only cost me so far about £1,000 to fix this. Now it's going to cost a bit more than that once I've bought new wheels and new headlight and whatever. Because I didn't mention the headlight, an OEM one from Toyota, is £1,200. 1,200 quid for a fucking headlight. Just one headlight. So I didn't order that. So I need to source an aftermarket one or a second-hand one or something of those. So yeah, the total bill is probably going to be like 2,000, maybe a bit more. Probably about 2,000, I would say. So for me, I don't regret not getting track day insurance. If you know you would seriously struggle to be able to afford to fix the car if you crashed it, then you could look at track day insurance. But then that's an extra cost on top of track days. I mean, they're already quite expensive. By the time it's like 150 quid at least for the day normally. Then you've got your fuel. You probably spend at least another 60 or 70 quid on fuel. depending on the car obviously. Food and drink is always a fortune at those places because you've got a captive market. They're normally in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, you can easily spend, I would say, well over 200 quid, probably closer to 300 quid. And then obviously you've got tyres and brakes and things that are going to get worn out much faster. So if you then add in track day insurance on as well, it's going to get even more expensive. I don't know. But anyway, I got kind of sidetracked there a bit. Going back to the point of me being quite calm, I feel like regardless of the financial aspect of it, I'd have still had the same like reaction pretty much. Like, I don't know, just as soon as I crashed, I thought, well, like I'm okay. Like my neck hurt a little bit, but it was definitely nothing serious. So like within a few seconds I realised I've not broken any bones, I'm fine. So then from there, like you may as well just laugh about it, hadn't you? Like if it's only damaged the car, yes, obviously I'd rather the car didn't get damaged, but cars can be repaired. But yeah, then like it's happened at that point. I didn't take anybody else out, nothing got damaged apart from my car, so there's no point crying about it, is there really? Like it's not going to change anything. So yeah, just learn from it and try and fix the car and then have another go and try not to crash. So other comments that we got, or questions. A couple of people asked why exactly that happens. Like if you shift to a too low a gear, why does it lock the wheels up? At first I thought I knew exactly how to explain that, but then I realised I'm not 100% sure that my understanding of it is the actual reason. So feel free to correct me if I'm completely wrong here. Now, my understanding is that the wheels don't actually lock up, okay? They just aren't going quite fast enough. So it's a very similar effect to locking up. You get the tyre squeal, the back end will be uncontrollable. So it's basically the same as if you had locked up, but they haven't actually stopped as if you just pulled the handbrake. And the reason for that, again, my understanding, is that if we're going along in 5th gear and we're at, say, 5,000 RPM, which is somewhere around what I was doing, and then if you were to shift to 4th gear, you'd be able to say 6,000 RPM, 3rd gear you'd be at about 7, 2nd gear you might be at like 8 or 9, which is past the limiter, so normally you wouldn't be able to do that anyway if you just drove in 2nd gear and floored it. But basically, yeah, the revs are going to be way higher than they were before. So I went to shift from 5th to 4th. Normally I would heel toe downshift a bit, blip the throttle to match the revs. So I'd be aiming to get the revs to say like 6,000 because that's what they need to be in 4th gear. Okay, so that's speeding the engine up to what it's going to need to be when you let the clutch out and the gear engages. I then let the clutch out thinking I was in 4th and that it would need to be about 6,000, but it was in 2nd, so they needed to be at say 8 or 9,000, which they were only at 6. So as you let the clutch out, everything's suddenly got to try and catch up. Like the speed that you're doing, the speed that your wheels are turning now doesn't match the speed that the engine's going at all. So the engine's got to try and catch up really quickly, which it can't do. It can't go from 6,000 RPM to like 9,000 instantly. So, you know, like if you just changed down a gear and didn't blip the throttle at all, didn't rev match, and just let the clutch straight out, you get like a horrible jerk forward. This is just like an extreme version of that. Because that jerk is from the engine trying to catch up, like the momentum or inertia or whatever in the engine trying to catch up is why everything slows down and lunges forward. So the engine isn't going fast enough for 90 miles an hour in 2nd gear, which because it's directly connected to the wheels once you've let the clutch out, then the wheels aren't going fast enough either, basically. Now, either the wheels would just keep gripping and the engine would be forced to catch up really fast, which is bad, you don't want that because that's going to fuck your engine, or the engine's going to be the limiting factor and the wheels aren't going to be able to spin fast enough, which thankfully that's what happened. I say thankfully, maybe I wouldn't have crashed if it had been the other way around, I guess, but the engine probably would have blown up, so yeah, that's my understanding, is that the engine couldn't catch up, so therefore the wheels couldn't catch up because it's all connected once you let the clutch out, and so the wheels aren't spinning quite fast enough, which means you get tyre squeal and a loss of grip, and yeah, you crash into a barrier. There we go, explained. I didn't do a very good job there, but you might get the idea from that. So what other comments do we get? A lot of people asked if I'm going to go Rocket Bunny kit or any other aftermarket bits. I don't think I'm going to bother, to be honest. I know it's a bit boring, but I've ordered the standard bumper, the standard bonnet, just all normal stuff again. As for what colour it's going to be, obviously it's going to come just with primer or whatever on it. It's not going to be a specific colour. And I don't know what to do with that, to be honest. I don't know whether to send it off to get wrapped in the same colour or to just take the wrap off and just get everything resprayed a different colour or a similar colour. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet, so yeah, we'll see about that. One other thing as well, which I made a separate video about, but now with the crash and everything, it doesn't make sense to post that one because it won't be kind of in order. So we'll do it, I'll touch on it briefly in this video instead. I mentioned earlier in this video that I'd ordered a Mishimoto radiator before the crash happened or anything. I also ordered quite a few other things at that point as well. New forged conrods, new forged pistons, 10:1 compression ratio, and the Carrillo rods and Carrillo pistons. New stronger valve springs, I don't know why I'm counting. New oil pump gear, new brakes, but I ordered them ages ago, they've only just turned up. Stronger head gaskets, probably some other things that I've forgotten, little things. But yeah, so there's going to be some fairly major changes in the engine going on pretty soon, and then we can run more boost. Always good. So at least if over-revving the engine did bend a conrod or anything, they're getting replaced soon anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, that's going to be a few weeks until that all turns up. We're going to take the engine out ourselves, which I'm not looking forward to. Well, I am. Like, it'll be fun to do, but I feel like we're going to mess something up. Mainly when we put it back in, probably. But yeah, so taking the engine out, the parts will be here in a few weeks, so we'll do it then. Sending it off to a place that's going to install all the new parts, and then pick the engine up, and then we'll put it back in. And then I'll take it to Fensport to get mapped again with a load more boost. So yeah, that was the plan before the crash. Depending on when things turn up and how long it's going to take to find a place that can sort the chassis out and stuff, I might just take the engine out while it's all in bits anyway, before we put everything back together and do the brakes and everything at the same time. But yeah, depending on timescales of certain things, we might end up just putting it all back together, running it for a few weeks and then taking the engine out, which would probably be a good idea anyway, just to see if there is any damage to the engine from the crash. But yeah, we'll see. And that's pretty much it. We'll do a separate video once we've got all the new parts ready to fit. But yeah, until then, I'm just going to stick in this nice, safe, automatic car. Just stay away from manual gears for a while. No, I'm joking. I need to take the R8 in to get the O2 sensor replaced next week, so I don't think we'll do a video of that, but I'm sure it'll be on Si's Snapchat. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.